Through the making of Jim Crow laws that have been, in a way, passed down to this day and age, it leads to America's mass incarceration issue. The war on drugs is something that really spiked America's mass incarceration problem. It started June 18th, 1971, and is still ongoing until today. The war on drugs is something that it's a campaign that the federal government created to implement the prohibition of drug use of any type of drug, recreational drug. And many people believe this was the new Jim Crow. To end mass incarceration, that is a very big subject that many of us, we can't just do overnight. Some things to help reduce mass incarceration in this country can be having real rehabilitation centers for mentally ill inmates, the death penalty, wrongful conviction, prison conditions, and children in adult prisons. The New Jim Crow, written by Michelle Alexander, it's an amazing book. She states in chapter 6 that any movement to end mass incarceration must deal with it as a racial caste system. As you all can see, the racial disparity in the prison and criminal justice system is a major issue. Now let's see how these officers are being able to end up in these positions. Every year, about 380 available open slots are handed down to people for job openings to become a police officer. These are the steps that you can go through to become a police officer. 1, you have to obtain a high school diploma or GED. 2, you have to obtain a bachelor's degree, but that is always optional. 3, you have to pass law enforcement entry exam. And 4, you have to graduate from the police academy. Stated by the GoLawEnforcement.com, these are some aspects that you need as a police officer for the psychological test: reasonable courage, honesty, integrity, judgment, and impulse control. So, all I've said is modern day slavery, mass incarceration, and police training are different aspects that go into the systemic racism and criminal justice system and that plague our society each and every day. After all I said, have you thought about the questions I asked earlier today? Now, can you state how systemic racism has plagued the criminal justice system? Earlier this month in June, a man named George Floyd died. He was brutally murdered at the hands of 4 cops because they thought that he had a $20 bill that was fake, but in reality, it was very real. 2 weeks ago, I attended a Black Lives Matter protest, protesting against police brutality, and it was just an amazing experience to march next to my fellow colleagues chanting no justice, no peace, no racism, no police. I also got the opportunity to speak at this protest, and in that moment was when I really realized how broken and terrible our system is. I know my advocacy against racial injustice can play a role in solving this big issue. So my last words to you is to educate yourself on systemic racism. Always let your voice be heard. Know that silence is compliance, and focus your mindset to be anti-racist. Thank you.